obviously there's a lot of fallout happening from the Tua concussion yesterday. This just got across as Antonio Pierce, who is the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. He was asked about it. Pretty blunt. Pretty blunt. You got this, Vlad? Here was Antonio Pierce minutes ago asked about Tua's future.
A broader question. I don't know if you watched the game last night, but saw Tua suffered another concussion. You have players, not every player is different, but when somebody has a history of concussions, do you handle that any differently as a head coach?
I'll be honest, I'll just tell him to retire. It's not worth it. It's not worth to play the game. I haven't witnessed anything like I've seen that's happened to him 3 times. Scary. You can see right away the players' faces on the field. You can see the sense of urgency from everybody to get Tua help. I just think at some point, he's going to live longer and he's going to play football. Take care of your family.
There you go. That was head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, Antonio Pierce.
Like, I get it. And a lot of this comes from the concerns that they have for Tua. But again, there's been, I don't know how to explain it to get people to understand where I'm coming from, because I don't want it to come from a place of that's the way football used to be, right? Because it really isn't. People have been experiencing concussions. Hell, I've had a bunch of them, right? And they're all, to me, besides and I would say this, if he had not come back so quick and had those concussions back to back in the same year, we would be treating this totally different. You understand what I'm saying?
I guess, Claire. So you're saying if he would have never come back that year?
No. What I'm saying is that if they would have waited the first time, like, I don't know. See, here's what nobody knows, right? You're doing tests to determine somebody's health. And the tests you're using are, memory tests and stuff like that, because they say with a concussion, that's the first thing to go. We don't know, just because he passed those tests, if he was really healthy, meaning that a much lesser hit could put him back in the same situation, right? Now, he played last year. He got hit last year. A whole lot that he took some precautions also.
Yeah.
And he was fine. And then this year he tried to put his head down, and I don't know what that was. And he got another one. But I believe that this one is separate from the other ones, because I don't know if he was given the right amount of time to heal from the original one. You understand what I'm saying?
So do you think this one's connected or not?
Listen, over a period of time, a number of concussions, yes. But I'm saying that year, 2 years ago, I'm wondering if it wasn't like.
Well, don't forget, like the thing everybody with the one that, like, the scariest one that ever happened was the Cincinnati one.
Right.
And the big thing with that was we all think that he might have had one against Buffalo, but he cleared protocol.
Right.
Even though it looked very much like he had one.
Right.
They said it was a back injury.
Right.
Then he plays 4 days later and he has to get stretchered off the field.
Right. Because
so
he hadn't really recovered from.
Took basically a month off. That was how long he was out.
Yeah.
And then suffered it again on Christmas against Green Bay, but he finished that game. We didn't know. That was just a bump, and he kept playing.
But I'm saying, see the different levels of this, and so to definitively say when somebody heals or not.
Yeah,
I think that's the hardest part to do with this.
I know, but I think that the thing that is it is his choice, and Mike McDaniel's right about that. But I don't fault people for being concerned about it. I
appreciate people being concerned, and I'm not like Tua's a great dude. And if people show concern, that's fine. Okay. But I think when people start making these suggestions as far as what he should do, with you yourself not having the same information that he has or the medical staff has, I think it's careless. Right. And like, I get like you saying, oh, this is what I would do, or this is what you don't know what you would do. You really don't. Right. I'm telling you, everybody, we don't know what would we do if we were in that situation, because guess what? I was in that situation. I never thought twice
about not playing.
Yes. And I was getting hit a lot more than him.
Okay. But I would say his place is probably he does want to play.
Right.
I would guess.
But I'm just saying, for people to say,
the question is like, if it does happen, Leroy, like this viciously, yes, he got through a year that was clean. But if it does, like, are the odds that Tua is going to be able to get through another 7 years of his career without this happening again?
I would venture and say no.
Probably not.
I'm gonna tell you right now. No, probably not.
Yeah.
Because it's football and you're gonna get caught in some weird situations, and you're gonna get, like, for example, I remember getting one in, I want to say maybe Kansas City or something. Like, I didn't miss any time or nothing, but I was seeing stars. All because the ground was frozen.
Jeez.
That's it. Nobody hit me. I just fell and hit the hard-ass ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't explain how these things happen, right? I can't explain the recovery time. I can't explain the long-term effects, right? There are times where I was like, maybe I got hit in the head too much. Like, but I don't know.
I know.
I'm also 56 years old.
And I think the thing that is good for Tua that gives him this choice, because a lot of guys don't have to. I mean, how many fighters you see, like I talk to, that have to keep fighting.
Evander Holyfield.
Because that's how they either have their money stolen or they don't have this. He has the blessing of, he is set up.
Yes.
He's good.
Yes.
So this is really a question of, does he want to continue to compete? Yes. And it's totally within his right. But I do understand people saying, like, hey, you can have the out if you want it. If it does come down to that. And yeah, he's got 2 babies at home. And it's a thing. Like, I'm not telling him how to do it. I'm not gonna be as blunt as Antonio Pierce, because I don't know.
I would say this. I didn't have any kids.
Yeah.
I wasn't married. Right. So but here's the other thing, is that this is all a moot point until he gets cleared by medical professionals to play. So until then, sitting here having conversations on what Tua should or shouldn't do doesn't matter, because he hasn't been cleared to play. That decision and these conversations should only be thought of when he's healthy to play. That's it.
I got distracted by the guy who drafted Josh Rosen on TV. Yeah. Well, there you have it, though. That was Antonio Pierce just minutes ago saying he thinks Tua should retire.
Yeah. So I would, and keep.
You kind of had like a reaction to him saying.
I also.
You had a reaction to him saying, "I never seen anything like that," and you kind of scoffed at that.
Yeah, that's a lie. You've seen way worse stuff than that. If you play linebacker too, you've seen way worse. Come on, you've seen worse hits than that. You've seen guys like on a stretcher and getting. Yes, if you play football, you've seen it once or twice a year. Don't know who it is or whatever. Absolutely. You've seen injuries like Joe Theismann, or like what's the quarterback for Kansas City and San Fran, that they still show his leg in the
Alex Smith. Yeah, that's gnarly.
You've seen stuff like
that's part of this too, though. Like, it is one of these things where we've always said with Tua, like, he is a guy that garners opinions from people on everything, and he's a known player. And so, and I think a guy like you heard Josh Allen last night was like, he's one of the best guys off the field. Like, I think that's part of it too. Like, everybody just really they do want the guy to have a good life, and they are worried about that stuff.
But again, these are all conversations that you have with the medical staff, and then you make your own decision. Having a conversation with Tobin and Leroy or Antonio Pierce or whoever out here is suggesting stuff like that is a moot point, because you don't have all the information that Tua is going to get as he goes through this process. And so that's why I'm not sitting here telling him what he should or what he shouldn't do. No, what I would say, here's what we do as Americans. We turn on the TV, see a situation, whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent, and then turn around and tell our friends what they would do. And I would say, I don't know what I would do in that situation, right? When I played, it wasn't even a thought, right? I've never, the reasons why I quit playing football had nothing to do with the amount of concussions I had. It was because my legs didn't work. It was because my arms didn't work. My shoulders didn't work. Like, I was banged up. So that's why I retired. Now, eventually, you have lasting effects of it. But to sit here and say, and stand on our soapbox and say what we would do, man, let me tell you, the amount of time and work that you put in this, that you dedicate to doing this, to finally getting there, right? It is a hard decision to make. Look at that. Tom Brady said it was hard to leave. You're almost 50, dude.
I'm telling you, he texted Stephen Ross last night.
Think of all the guys man.
That did happen.
That definitely happened.
And Fitzpatrick, too.
Right. For me, the best thing I could have did was just not show up. Because I know if I would have made a phone call to somebody or went there and told them I retired, I know for a fact it wouldn't have taken much to get me to go back. So I just avoided everybody because I knew that was right for me. So, man, let's just first things first. Let the man get healthy before we start telling him what he could do with his life. Then let him talk to all the medical staff and the people associated with it that are going to give him an honest opinion. If you got to travel all over the world and not listen to these people here because you feel safer getting an opinion there, then that's what you do. And then after that, then we can pass judgment. But he ain't healthy, so it doesn't matter.
Take a break. Back with more of this.